Well, hello. It's been a while. This is Raven Dana, and welcome to Walking Between the Worlds. Today is Thursday, January 26th, and yes, it has been a while because I have been sick. I had a lot of things back to back, which included COVID and then pink eye. So I'm sorry that you haven't seen my face for a while. But trust me when I tell you, you wouldn't have wanted to. But I'm back now, and I'm going to pick up where we left off. So I'm going to tell you today a little bit about the upcoming pagan holiday, Imbolc, which is February 2nd. We'll talk a little bit about that and its significance and what you might do to connect with the next shift in the seasons as we find ourselves at that halfway point between winter and spring. And also, I'm going to give you information on the two upcoming classes that I've been working on. And I think you're going to like them. I think that, they're going to be fun. They're a little bit different. So, in any case, I'm glad to be back. And after I'm done with this little video today, I will also put up a meditation for you for that midwinter meditation. Okay. Alrighty then. Imbolc. February 1st and 2nd. It's celebrated generally February 1st through sundown on the 2nd. And it's also a holiday that has been Christianized in more modern times. So it's celebrated in a number of different ways. Now, it is originally based on a Celtic tradition that was meant to mark that halfway point between winter, the solstice, and the spring equinox. The holiday is celebrated all over the world still today, and it focuses on the goddess Brigid, or in the Christian version, on Saint Brigid. Brigid is considered to be one of the most potent Celtic deities. She's the daughter of Dagda, which is the oldest god in the Celtic pantheon of the Tuatha Dé Danann. The stories about Brigid's birth say that she was born with a flame in her head and that she drank the milk of a mystical cow from the spirit world. She is credited with the very first keening, also a traditional wailing for the dead. Now, the season, that midpoint, is also the time of lambing and the time when the ewe's milk would come in. So it is a celebration of the return to life, and again, the sun returning, the return of fire. Brigid is a fire deity. She's known for smithing. She's the goddess of smithing, of midwifery, of babies and springtime, and of poetry. So it's something to just sort of be with, that in that midpoint of winter, between winter and the equinox, there's that hope of spring. There's the return of life, the milk of the animals returning in the lambing season. Now, Brigid was adopted into Christianity as Saint Brigid, and the church said that she was a historical person. And yet we have her as the patron saint of nuns, newborns, midwives, dairy maids, and cattle. So, right? Pretty interesting. Brigid is associated, of course, with milk and fire, both Saint Brigid and Goddess Brigid, which are essentially one and the same. In the 12th century, and this is interesting, there's a legend that said that the nuns in Kildare attended to a fire built in the honor of Saint Brigid, and the fire burned for 500 years and was attended only by women. So I think that's pretty interesting. And on her feast day, an effigy of Saint Brigid of Kildare is traditionally washed in the ocean and surrounded by candles, and stalks of wheat are transformed into what are called Brigid crosses. You've probably seen them, right? The Celtic goddess Brigid, also known as the Exalted One, is again, goddess of spring, fertility, life, and she's beloved by poets. She's considered to be both the master of healing and of smithing. And her holiday was, again, originally, and it is today, held on February 1st and marked the midpoint of winter. Now, in addition, on the day of Imbolc, people lit fires and held feasts to honor Brigid. To celebrate this today, there are some simple things that you can do to sit quietly and maybe set up an altar with a bowl of milk, some white flowers, make a corn husk doll, make a Brigid cross, and light some candles, right? And it would be great if you could, in fact, get outside and get a bonfire going and sit around that bonfire. And again, we're making it through the winter. We're at the midway point. And I also want to remind you that we're still in the midway of winter, which essentially means that it's not time to start hurrying and bustling even now, that we're in that point where we hunker down and wait for winter to let go of its grip on the land, where we're seeing the very, very first minute stirrings of the possibility of spring if we watch the animals. So it's a time to, again, attend to ourselves, to take care of ourselves with a greater level of kindness and a level of rest that we normally don't allow again, the winter. In our culture, we bustle and hustle our way through the winter, and we wonder why we're sick all the time, myself included, right? Of course, I had the great good fortune of being with my granddaughter, who is a walking, talking petri dish, because she brings all kinds of little things home from school and readily shares them with her loving family. So, in my case, it wasn't necessarily that I was bustling around, but that I was, playing in the imaginal realms with my granddaughter. And I'm fine with that. If there's a way to pick up a sickness, then okay, that's if I had to choose, that would be my choice. So we're all good with that. Okay, so think about that. Milk, candles, fire, smithing, poetry. You might write a poem. It would be a great thing to do on a wintry day, is to have a cup of warm milk, write a poem, right? And light some candles. Let yourself be with the image, the thought of the returning of the light, and that at the midpoint of winter, we're moving now towards spring. And I've noticed, the days are getting longer, which is thrilling. Anytime the sun is out now, which is rare over here in my little part of the universe. But any day the sun is out, I don't care how cold it is, I'm going to go out and sit in the sun, even if that means I'm sitting in my car letting the sun come through my open window. In fact, I fell asleep one day in the sun in my car, and it was great. It was lovely. So anything that you can do to get outside, celebrate the return of the light, and take care of yourself at the same time, it's a great thing to do. It's a go-to thing. Oh, there's my kitty in the background. You can see her wandering by. All right, so I'll be back with more information or more. We'll probably do another little meditative round right at the first or second, so that you have another experience of the Imbolc energy. I also want to talk to you today a little bit about my upcoming classes. So the first one that's coming as a series, which will be for 4 weeks, starting February 15th, is about spirit animal helpers. Now, again, if you know about this or have had experience with this, it's probably not going to be much like what you've had so far. I take a little different or a big different spin on the energy of animals and what it means to have an animal helper or a spirit animal. So while we will look at some of the traditional explanations, what we're mostly going to do is play with our relationship to our fellow animals, right? I mean, we've painted animals on cave walls since God knows when, right? Way, way, way back there. When we first could hold a rock that made a mark on a wall, we were drawing animals, and we were drawing the scenes of things that we did. So we've been, when we're visited in today's modern world by our four-footed and winged fellow human, fellow beings, right? Generally, they bestow on us some kind of memo or message. You probably have noticed in your own life that the occurrence or the arrival of a certain animal might happen at a specific time, a certain state of mind, or when there's something going on. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into that conversation. So what this class offers is a way to reestablish and renew our connections with other animal beings. We're going to invite them into our dreams. We're going to journey with them. We're going to explore how they show up in our lives. And we're going to look at all kinds of different animal energies. We'll explore the gifts of fox, crow, bear, snake, buffalo, hawk, raven, shark, elephant, cat, lion, blue heron, black dog. And if you have a particular animal entity or energy or spirit animal that you would like to explore, please send me an email, and I will make sure that we enter that in the class as we go. Now, as always, so again, the class 4 weeks starting February 15th, Spirit Animal Helpers. It will be up online. It will be up for free. And if you choose to pay for the class, you can go to my website at ravendana.com, and what you get for your payment is an email every week with class notes, with links to other information, with practices, and of course then direct access to me if you want to share a dream or experience with me. So that's what you get if you pay for the class. But the class itself, of course, is going to be put up and free, and that's the way this works. The second class, which I'll spend more time on later in the month, is going to begin in March, and it is a Dream Keepers Circle Level 1. So that class is coming. You can take a look at that on my website as well, ravendana.com. And for now, I'm just going to let you rest and have a good day, and I'm so grateful to be well and back in the loop with you. I'm going to put up a meditation right now so that you don't have to listen to all of my talking to get to the meditation. I'll put it up in a few minutes right after this. Thank you for tuning in to Raven Dana at Walking Between the Worlds. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful afternoon.